What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Let's test the audio real quick. Give me a couple seconds here to perfect. Sounds good. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys had a great trading day today. Personally, didn't take any trades. We'll go over. I did see some positions that happened after the fact. Unfortunately, US30 was part of those moves that just moved pretty good after the news, right? Obviously, again, US30 is one of those pairs where I'm not really what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not stressed about US30 when it moves. Again, the reasons why, it's very simple, right? Before I could look for trades going short, especially in the area that we're in, right? US30 is very special. We talked about this movie this morning. Again, a lot of the people, especially those who are in the challenge, on Twitter, if you guys haven't seen the challenges, yeah, I do daily, well, not daily, but I do a 5K challenge, right? A Propfirm challenge every month, where I give out a free 5K challenge to those who could pass an account doing 12% profit, 5% drawdown in 30 days, right? Two of the people who are doing that challenge right now took this setup today, which was what we were talking about. Again, I'll do US30 first. We'll start off the session with this pair, right? A lot of people who trade US30, especially before 9:30, they'll think that whatever price does during Asia and London session, right, that we'll get a continuation of that during NYC, which you could already see. This is 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and they'll think that this is where price is going to give us the retest to just continue. But again, understanding that US30 is a NYC pair allows us to not get into these trades. This is what I'm saying. US30 is a pair you have to graduate to. If you can't see when the market is going to give you manipulation, you simply just can't trade it, right? So us understanding that this was an invalid engulfing candle because price still hasn't given us that inducement that it does during NYC, we already knew, hey, this is really not a place to take a trade. Let's take a step back. And we called that out this morning. We even talked about it. Now, we also said we do have a big 30-minute engulfing candle here. But what was the problem with this entry at 9:30 is we have news at 9:45. We had news at 10 o'clock. So, unfortunately, I can't take a trade. It's not that I can't. I choose not to take a trade 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after news. Right? So what I liked about this movement is like, okay, cool. This was the inducement candle, right? This was the exhaustion candle. After it gave us the exhaustion candle, it gave us an engulfing candle here, the engulfing pattern that we look for. But what was missing was I really wanted to see the next 30-minute candle. So that 10 a.m. candle, I would have loved to have seen this give us a pullback to then continue. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. Right? Unfortunately, price just, as soon as the news hit at 10 a.m., just straight candles to the bottom side. Right? So, again, I can't be upset. Right? Because, number one, at the end of the day, did I follow my trading plan? Yes. Okay, cool. That's it. Right? As long as we follow our trading plan and what we talked about is what's going on, that's all we could ask for as traders. Right? As traders, we're not wizards. We're not witches. Right, we can't tell the future. Right, we're humans at the end of the day. Humans, we could look at patterns and we could dictate what's gonna happen based on previous data. So everything we talked about this morning, right? For those who stayed away from this trade before 9:30, congratulations, you didn't take a loss today. Right? That's it. That's the most we could do. Now, if we could avoid losses and we could also find a trading entry, an opportunity to enter, perfect, right? We won. Now, what was another reason why I didn't want to take this trade? There's two more reasons. Reason number one, we were still making higher highs and higher lows. Now that price finally gave us a change of character, lower low, this is where I would want to start looking for price, and I want to start looking for my sell entries going down. Would love to see it. The second thing I was looking at was we still had a daily high and the 4-hour highs. So could have price today gone up a little bit more and tapped into our daily and 4-hour highs up here? Absolutely. So again, right now like I said, patient. Not only am I patient, but again, as long as we're following our plan, that's all that I care about. Right? The day that I don't follow my plan, that's the day where something is wrong. Right? So, good evening, Mohammed. What's good, my brother? Hope you're doing well. So I hope that made sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. I'll try to explain it in another way where it makes a little bit more sense. Um, but somebody asked me a question today, like, oh, how do you deal? Let me pull up the message before we start too, because I feel like this is true with a lot of people, right? He asked me, how do you deal with this? Which was he hit me up because he was like, hey, I don't know how to deal with this situation. Not to air out his life, but he's like, I feel like going to school and working, I'm missing a lot of trading days, right? How do you deal with, like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And how do you deal with that? And I told him my plans. It's like, I know that I'm only on the charts from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., right? I mark my charts at 7 p.m., right? 2 hours after Asia session opens, after the markets open, right? And I know that I'm only going to be looking at my charts from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. If I wake up and everything's already done for the day, all the moves are made for the day, I have no trades left for the day. I'm following the plan, right? And I gave him the example. It was like, also, you're not going to be on the charts 24 hours. It's impossible. Nobody's on the charts for 24 hours. You're going to miss trades. You're going to miss setups. That's completely normal. But again, you have to understand the markets are open Monday through Friday every single week. You're not missing out on any moves. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, but you missed an entry here. I'm like, not really. Because again, like, we're thinking about it like if this movement is only done once a month on US30. Like, it happened last week on Friday. It happened this week on Thursday. It happened yesterday on Thursday. Like, look how many pips US30 gives. Right? It gave it to us again last week on Thursday. It gave it to us the week before on Thursday and Wednesday. Right? It gave it to us the week before on Tuesday and Wednesday. Like, look, these moves happen every single time. It's just whether or not you're present on the chart. Like, look, another beautiful trade on the 1 hour engulfing on July 9th in the beginning of the month. A simple retest at 10 a.m. to continue the push to the top side, right? And I just wasn't on my chart this day, so this was a missed opportunity too, right? So again, you're never really missing an opportunity in the market. Never. That's not something that exists. You're not missing out on anything. Now, did you miss out on today? Yeah, of course, you missed out on today, but you didn't miss out on an entry. It is what it is. Come back tomorrow. If your entry opportunity is present, you take the entry and you keep going. Again, was our entry present today? It was. Now, was it following the plan? No. So what are you going to do? Are you going to follow your plan and be okay with the results? Or are you going to not follow your plan and then risk hitting your stop loss? And then at the end of the day, when you look at your portfolio, you're going to be like, damn, I shouldn't have taken that loss. Right? So again, that's the way I trade. Right? I don't trade looking at whether or not I lost or won a trade. I trade looking at my trading plan. Today I took a trade. I'm not looking at, okay, whether I made profits or I lost profits. No, I'm looking at, did I follow my rules? If I followed my rules, then perfect. I won. If I didn't follow my rules, but I still won the trade, I still lost because I didn't follow my plan. Right? Because if I take that trade again, the one that I didn't follow my plan in, I know I'm going to lose the next one. If that makes any sense. So, it's very simple, guys. It's a very simple kind of mindset to go to. He was also, there was another DM, to get off from that conversation. It was like, to finish off the conversation, he was like, oh, how do you stay so disciplined? And this is a question that I hate because it's very simple. Very simple, guys. I mean, you go to work, you go to school. If your professor, your teacher, if your boss at work tells you not to do something, or if your boss tells you to do something, you're going to do it right away. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right? But if you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to start the gym, or I'm going to make my bed this morning, or I'm going to eat healthier, you're not going to listen to yourself. But as soon as your boss or a teacher tells you to do something, you're going to do it right away. Come on, guys. That's, I mean, if you can't listen to yourself, if you can't follow your own rules, how do you expect, number one, how do you expect to be an entrepreneur? Number one, right? How do you expect to be your own boss? If you can't even follow your own orders, how do you expect somebody else to be working for you and follow your orders? Just put that in perspective. So I really do hate that question. Oh, how do I follow my rules? Like, what do you mean? Like, bro, you already know that you have a rule of not risking more than 2% a day. You already lost 2% and you continue to trade. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, I can't help you with that. There's nothing I could do to help you with that at all. There's really nothing I could do about that. So again, to each of their own. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Hope this is making sense, but let's get to it, guys. I know it's late for a lot of you guys. We're already 11 minutes into the stream and we've just been talking a lot, little bit of venting. But you know, the good and the bad thing about doing free one-on-one sessions, which I'm really planning on not doing it for free in the probably into next year, but I'll probably start doing it by the end of this year too. And the reasons why, again, we've grown this I guess we could call it this academy, right? We've grown this academy to about 70 people. Even though it's not, we don't get 70 people on the live streams, I get a lot more people who view it, the recordings, who message me privately, who want to do one-on-one sessions. I will say this, I think I've said this before, but the ones who have been here, who have done it for free, I already updated my charges here because I want to be here. I appreciate that, Mohammed. My bad, bro. I promise I'll start now. Just give me 2 minutes. I just gotta make sure I get everything off the list that we wanted to talk about. So then we'll start. But yeah, again, if you have any questions about any charts, anything you want me to go over, anything that you did that you're like, I want to see if it looks the same. Just let me know and we'll do that first, just so I could if there's a specific pair that you want me to look at, we could go over that. Because again, I know it's late for you, so I'll do that for you, no problem. So yeah, to finish off the conversation is to start on the charts, right? The one-on-one sessions for the people who've been here since the start, who have already been doing one-on-one sessions, those people will continue to do it for free. All the new people coming in, it won't be anything like super expensive. It'll probably be like $5 a month. And I'll figure it out. I'll see what it is, and those $5, you will have unlimited one-on-one sessions. You obviously still have the live streams for free. Whatever, anything else you guys want to do, I do everything pretty much, for you guys. But the one-on-one sessions is a lot. It's really a lot. And it takes a toll on me too, because I get really upset doing those one-on-one sessions. I just take things personal, man. I really do, especially when it's things that I care about. It hurts when I see people who are continuously, I'm happy that everybody comes back and is like, yo, I really enjoy our one-on-one sessions. I appreciate what you do. But then at the same time, it's like every week, right? Anytime we have a one-on-one sessions is the same mistakes that are happening over and over and over and over again. It takes a toll. Again, at least to me, because I care. I really am that type of person. So, especially when those people tell me those stories of, oh, like, I want to make it out, the whole story, which everybody has. It sucks seeing those people stuck in the same rhythm of just making the same mistakes. So, we'll see what we do. Just do some videos and do a follow for each person after that class. Yeah, I want to get into the long form content. That's also another reason why I want to start charging for the one-on-one sessions. It's mainly because I really don't have the time throughout the day to sit here and do the one-on-one sessions, or not to do the one-on-ones, like to do the long form content, because I have some ideas that I want to do, but to go through the pairs, talk about it, like I kind of have to make some notes to make the video make sense. Because at the end of the day too, like, you've been here for a minute. Like, trading isn't as simple as just, oh, higher high, higher low, you take the trade and then you go into the higher low, going into a higher high, right? It's not that simple. So I need to be able to sit down, write some notes about like some key points of what I want to talk about and kind of show it off. Like for example, just to give you an example real quick, right? Like I want to show off like what's a low probability trade versus a high probability trade, right? Low probability, low risk, or low probability, high risk, or high probability, low risk, or high probability, high risk, right? And that example is what we've seen pretty much all week with the engulfing candles on US30, right? Why is this engulfing candle low probability high or low probability low risk versus this one being high probability high risk, right? This is high probability high risk because it's a 190 pip stop loss, but high risk is because I'm sorry, high probability high risk because of the stop loss, and high probability because we know that this is already the exhaustion candle, and we know that the risk is 1,028 pips, right? So there's certain things we could do, and for example, like these entries, right? They're both high probability, low risk. These entries that we had at the bottom. So it's different, exactly. It's different scenarios. Pretty much every trade is different scenarios. This one, same thing, right? Low probability, low risk, right? So there's certain ways that I can make the video, but I do want to make that key point because there's a lot of people who don't really understand that. And again, if you could see, right, a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, I could tell between a high probability and low probability, but if you could truly see that, you wouldn't be taking the bullshit trades that you guys take, right? And that's the difference between a lot of traders and what we do here, right? We talk about those trades that are low probability and we talk about it live. It's not like we talk about it in hindsight. Like, no, we've pretty much this entire week you guys have seen why we take the trades that we take and why we don't take the trades that we take, right? And then we see it live playing out. Like, holy shit, you know, you guys saw it in the chat the other I think it was yesterday or before yesterday. The guy in the chat was like, bro, you just saved me $100, right? And I think it was with EURCAD. He was talking about getting into buys or some shit in this area, and it's like, I don't think that's a good idea. It's not ready yet. I think it was on Tuesday, maybe. I think it was on this day. But anyway. So, you know, oh shit, EURCAD. Hold on. Did this give us the pullback already? No, it did. So this was another pair that it missed that pullback. All right. Anyway, so let's get started, guys. Again, any questions you guys have, let me know. Any pairs you guys want me to go over in specific, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. We're gonna go over the pairs that you see on the right hand side with the red flag, starting with AUD/USD and finishing off with US oil. Let me take a sip of water. I've been talking a lot already, man. It's been 20 minutes. I've just been yapping. Alright, so again, today is already Thursday, going into Friday. You know, I'm pretty much just gonna be looking at the 30-minute time frame. I'm just gonna update the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, and also looking at any continuations, right? So AU, we have a day of drop, which was today, right? Price gave us a 4-hour bullish candle. We're still trading between this 30-minute high and this 30-minute low at this moment, kind of just waiting it out. AU gave us a beautiful type 3 pattern, right? Very, very, very beautiful type 3 pattern, exactly what we talked about yesterday, right? This one did exactly what we talked about. Broken came back, retested. Why didn't it work out? Later on, EA. I got you. We'll go over that right now too. Right, so AU right now, let's just wait it out. I would have loved to have seen price already break below these lows, but let's keep it simple. If price breaks these lows, we'll see price continue to push. If price breaks these highs, we'll see it push to the top side. Yeah. Alright, so EA. Let's talk about EA. So we can see that EA kind of used both sides, right? It did a fake out to the highs, went lows, gave us a break of the lows, and then now push to the top side. So let's clear this up a little bit, right? So let's update. Here we have a day of rise. We know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low. Change this, change of character, red. So we know that it broke the lows, and we know we're trading between this 30-minute low here and these 30-minute highs up here. Now, you're saying, why didn't the engulfing candle work out in EA? Where exactly do you see the engulfing candle? Broken came back and retested. What's good, Lorenzo? My bad, I can't see the chat that you said because the heart is in the way. The beginning of an arrow? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Muhammad, are you speaking about this engulfing candle right here? Red, red, green. Why didn't it work out? Okay, so let's mark it up, right? And let's talk about it. So the first thing I could say, right, is let's go to the daily time frame. Right, so let's look at this from the top to the bottom. So we're in the middle of the zone of consolidation. That's number one. Right, so we already know the middle of the zone of consolidation, in the middle of the zones, right, from the high and the low. We know that this is where a lot of traps are made. So that could be one thing, but let's try to see if we could see something else a little bit more technical. We have 2 weeks of rise, this week being the third week. We can see price already gave us the high, then gave us the push to the bottom. Market structure in the 4 hour. Nothing really there. So now in the 30-minute. Whoa, let's go back to the 4 hour. I want to see something. No, okay. Now, going to the 30-minute. This engulfing can, well, let's go to the 1 hour since that's in the 1 hour time frame, right? So what do we see pretty much? Let's go to the 30 so it can make a little bit more sense, right? So the number one thing really is we know we were trading, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, right? In this point where there's two things that I'm looking at, which is the break of structure, right? So this break of structure to make a higher high, and where we're at in the pattern. Number one thing is this break of structure not really valid, right? It was one green candle that made the push to the top side, right? This was the imbalance candle. So this is where the fair value gap the order block traders lost, right? Because they'll have a fair value gap somewhere here, right? An order block somewhere in this zone. But let's just talk about us. We don't have to add all of this, right? Let's just talk about how we're looking at this and why this engulfing candle here didn't really work out, right? And again, it's just mainly market structure, right? This break of structure really wasn't a clear break of structure at all, right? It was just one imbalanced green candle. This candle here, yeah, even though it closed above, it's still very close, right? It's not really a clean break of structure, right? So this was the inducement that was made of the highs. Once price made these inducements of the highs, we went down. Perfect. Price went straight down, filled the imbalance candles, right? And this is where price was kind of just making that decision on whether it was going to break to the highs or not, right? What we were seeing yesterday, right? For me to have a confirmation that price was going to continue this push to the top side would have just been a simple break of structure of these highs here, right? Did we get a clean break of structure again? Not really. Right, and technically speaking, it's really up here, not this green candle here, right? Which we could see we had a test, right? A testing candle. Once we had that testing candle, right? We know this was the zone that we were in yesterday in yesterday's stream. That already kind of gave us that confirmation that price, instead of price using this zone as a higher low to continue to make higher highs, this is already our confirmation that price is going to make that sweep of the lows. So remember, there's the three movements in the market, right? Accumulation, distribution, manipulation, right? Which is the sweep of the lows, right? And that's where price went. It swept the lows, and then it started making the real trend. Now, if we go down to a lower time frame, we'll see that the lower time frame change of character, break of structure. Lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of character, higher low, higher high, break of structure, retest to continue, right? And if we go down to the 30-minute time frame, that's pretty much this entry up here, right? To continue. So really that that engulfing candle just really wasn't in a strong zone, which is the reason why this one didn't work out. Right? We were pretty much set up in a zone where we could also see that even though price is kind of trending, we could sit here and also say that this is pretty much a little zone of consolidation. Right? When you start looking at it like this and you box it up, you start seeing like, oh yeah, this is kind of just price moving sideways. Right? Rejected the lows, rejected the highs, rejected the lows again, right? And this is where price is going to make a decision again on whether it wants to continue to do something like this, right? And then up here is going to make another decision to either do this again, right? Or it's going to break and continue. Mr. Dini, hope you're doing well. Good evening, good evening. I would have taken it. I would have taken it if it weren't for STP. Yeah, that was us. Whoa, my bad. I stuttered there for a little bit. Which is also another reason for US30 today, right? STP really is that factor in a lot of these trades for this week, especially being high impact news week, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Sometimes we're not really expecting, especially a pair like this. If you really start looking at how this pair moves, especially for it being Euro AUD, it's a Asia session, London session pair. We're not really expecting this move to happen after NYC open. Yeah, we could expect it during Asia session, London session, right? Obviously, we know we have news, so that kind of, we have to take a little backtrack on that. But if it weren't for news, this isn't a pair that that usually moves during NYC, especially the way that it moved today. So it is what it is. But then again, it's just overall is also where we're at in the overall market makers pattern. The fact that we're in the middle of that zone of consolidation, we know that the middle of the zone of consolidation, you need to wait for those inducements, right? So it's just that pretty much. That inducement of the lows today was pretty much the dagger for this trade. Well, not the dagger. That's what we needed to wait for and then look for the opportunity to trade here to continue the push to the top side. The trap falls real, exactly. So EURCAD, let's update EURCAD. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then it gave us a higher high. So again, this is another situation where I don't really want to say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, but for the sake of structure, I am going to write it that way. I am going to mark it up that way. And the reason why, and we'll go to the daily time frame for that. At this moment, I don't have a set high yet, so we'll leave this one be for now. 3 days of drop. After 3 days, market was chopper rise, and it gave us a day of rise. EUROCAD is in a situation where we're at the high of the daily of the consolidation, right? So this is where I want to start seeing price eventually start falling, but at this moment we can see that that is not something price wants to do as of right now. We will see. I would have loved to have seen price give us a clean break of structure of these lows, but we'll continue to monitor it. At this point, we know that we're also trading pretty much between, that's a horrible line, but this high here, right, and these lows down here. Price breaks will continue. If price breaks will continue. So EURCAD will continue to monitor this. Again, any questions, guys? Any pairs in specific you guys want me to go over today? Let me know. If not, once again, this is a Thursday session already, so you already know I'm not gonna go into detail with the daily or the 4 hour. We're just gonna be updating our 30-minute lows and highs and seeing if we have any continuations for the day. Not gonna do anything crazy in today's stream. Again, we don't really take any positions unless something is crystal clear. This is just the market breakdown where we get ready for tomorrow morning. So this is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. Last red candle before the push to the top side. And we know we're trading now between this high and this low. This is still a pair that I want to see price start pushing to the top side, but we'll continue to monitor it. Do we have any bullish engulfing candles? Nothing on the daily, nothing on the 4, Nothing in the 1. Nothing in the 30. Okay. EU will monitor it, but EU looks good, right? Right now at these lows is giving us a little E special. Price could break above these highs. We're pretty much trading between this high and this low. Price breaks these highs, we'll continue to see price push. If we break these lows, we'll continue to see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower lows to the bottom. GA. We had a day of rise on Wednesday. Thursday, which was today, gave us a day of drop. So no continuation. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. So we know we have this break. This break gave us this 30-minute high. These 30-minute lows down here. And this is a pair that we are in the top of the zone of consolidation. Once again, looking for that second push to the top side. So we know this is not the best place to look for a trade. We have 3 weeks of rise already, so we already know we're expecting price to give us a no net or a day or a week of a drop. We can see that right now we are below, kind of close to the no net as well. So price is doing exactly what it wants to do. It is doing exactly what it needs to do at this point. Just gonna keep waiting it out. Let's analyze gold. I got you. We're gonna go in order. Gold is one of the last pairs that I do, but I'll be there soon. We're doing these pretty quick since I'm just looking at the 30-minute time frame. GCAD, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price just kind of consolidated in this little zone and gave us a lower low down here. So we have another change of character, lower low to the bottom. So we have this change of character. Now we're trading between this 30-minute high up here to the top side and these 30-minute lows down here. Last red candle before the push to the top side is here. We had 2 days of drop, today being the 3rd day. Perfect. We had 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, market was rise or give us a no net. And let's look at where we're at with GCAD. Right, GCAD, we're at the top of the first zone of consolidation. We're in a higher high. So again, this is not the best place to look for buys. After a higher high, we want to see a pullback into a higher low to continue to make higher highs. Need to update the 4-hour time frame. Where are we in the 4-hour? Give me 2 seconds. Let me update this in the 4-hour. So we had that break, this high, this break, higher high, higher low. Boom, change of character, low, high, break, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we're trading between that same 4-hour high and the daily high and the 4-hour low. We know that we're trading now between this low and this high. And I'm looking for price because of how price is moving, right? We could expect a 23.6 to a 38.2 fib retracement. At this point, we already reached that 38.2, right? Boom, perfect 38.2 fib. So now, going into the 30-minute, into the lower time frame, this is where we're going to be expecting price to kind of give us that indication as to what price wants to do. First and foremost, do we have an engulfing candle? We have a small engulfing candle. Well, not a small, we have an engulfing candle here. A small wick on this green candle, as we can see. At this point, price gave us this break. It came back down, gave us the retest, and we're still in this area. So very similar to EA, or to EU, I believe it was. I would love to see price give us a nice E special. Kind of give us this break to continue, or this break to continue. Now, if price does want to come back down to these 30-minute lows and give us that inducement of the lows, it's perfect. Right, at the end of the day too, we know that this could be a type 1 pattern to continue the uptrend push. What's a type 1 pattern? We'll draw it out right here on the chart. Price consolidates, breaks, gives us push number 1, push number 2, push number 3 back to the top side. So GCAD is going to be one on our watch list for today for sure. We'll see how this one continues to move. GJ, price gave us 3 days of drop. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. However, I would have loved to have seen price on GJ. I would have loved to have seen a steeper pullback. I don't like when price just, as soon as the market opens, it fucking starts going into the direction of that we're looking for. As you can see, it's doing that again today. I would have loved to have seen price give us a pullback, but it's all good. We know that we're pretty much trading Lower low, lower high, we had this break. So we're trading between this high, these 30-minute highs here, and whatever lows that price wants to make at the bottom. Let's go to the 4 hour. Well, let's update this real quick. We have 3 days of drop. Go to the 4 hour, and the 4 hour lower low, lower high, and we're still making new lows, so we still don't have a set low. And in the daily time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and right now price is pushing down to those bottoms as well. So price for GJ is finally turning around. It's looking good. Right, would love to now get a pullback to continue these downtrend pushes for GJ. GU, lower low, lower high, lower low. We had this break here. So these breaks down here gave us these 30-minute lows. These 30-minute lows broke. So now we're trading between lower low, lower high, lower low. Right. So then we had this breakdown here. Right. This break gave us now these highs. And we know we're trading now between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. What is this yellow line that we have? Higher high, higher low, higher high. We have 2 weeks of drop. This would be in the 3rd week. GU were at the top of the zone of consolidation, gave us a rejection of the highs once again, started going back down, but still following higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs. So this one we'll just have to be patient and wait it out. Is this just a pullback to then continue to push to the top side? It could be. Gave us a day of drop, and our 4-hour candle was green, bullish. Good morning, good evening, bro. Mr. Bashir, good evening. Good morning to you if it's morning. Why? I know it's probably late for you, right? GU, keep it simple today. We have these highs, horrible line. These lows. Price breaks, we'll continue to see this. Price breaks, we'll see something like this. We'll wait it out. We'll see what price wants to give us coming into the morning. US30, we already went over this for the day. Right, so we'll continue to. Price gave us a change of character. Let's add that. So now we know we're trading between the lower low change of character. We know we're trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. We'll love to see US30 continue this downtrend push to fill up this gap. We know we're trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows. This is another pair that I could be expecting price to give me that 38.2, 23.6 or 38.2 fib retracement as well. I think 38.2 would be a little bit too steep, so I think 23.6 is definitely the range that we'll be in for today. USDCAD, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pushes to the top side. Right, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low change of character, higher high change of character here. So we know we're trading between this 30-minute high, or I'm sorry, this 30-minute low and these 30-minute highs up here. We know we had a bullish 4-hour candle. We have a day of rise. 2 weeks of rise. This would be in the 3rd week. Price gave us that push to the top side, and this is the 4-hour high that we're trading in as well up here. So let's see what price wants to do in this area. USD ZAR, same thing. 2 days of drop. On the 3rd day, today gave us a drop rise, but that's counter, so I'm just going to mark this as a day of rise. And again, we know that we're trading between this 30-minute high up here and these 30-minute lows down here. So for now, we'll skip it. Gold, right? So gold, higher time frame. We know we're in this little zone of consolidation, but we're still seeing higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? We could say that this is a higher low for price to now continue this push to the top side and give us another higher high, it seems like, right? In the 4-hour time frame, you can still see the same thing, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, went down, gave us a higher low, and continued now the push to the top side. We have this 4-hour high up here, these 4-hour lows down here. We don't have any engulfing candles. No valid engulfing candles, no clean engulfing candles. This is not really a clean engulfing candle, so I'm not gonna mark it. Daily time frame, no engulfings either. In the 1 hour, no engulfings. Okay. So now in the 30-minute, USDCAD, USDCAD 1 hour, bottom of the 30-minute. What do you mean? Oh, that's G's that I'm looking at. My bad. USDCAD, where's it at? Oh yeah. We have an engulfing candle right here. That's a very steep pullback. This would probably be a zone going into next week, depending on how. So let's go back into this real quick, right? Depending on what would happen for the end of this week, is gonna let us know what price wants to do here. If price in the 4-hour time frame, right? If we, well, let's go to the daily so we know we're pretty much trading in the same zone. But we know that we're looking for that third push to the top side, right? So for price to give us this indication that price is going to continue this push to the top side, not only do we have 3 weeks of rise, right? So if price in the 4-hour time frame decides to give us this break, right? Then next week, yeah, my bad. I was on GU, yeah. If we get this break at the end of this week, right? We already know next week we're expecting price to give us a drop or a no net. We could expect price next week, right, to give us this 3 pushes down, right, to give us the retest of the engulfing, and then the week after is where we'll expect price to continue this push to the top side, which is again what I would like to see, right? We know that USDCAD and US30 move differently, so I want to see US30 go short. I would love to see USDCAD continue this third push to the top side. So, you know, it's definitely lining up to be, it's lining up to be that exactly, right? Obviously we have also the imbalanced candles, right? So we'll definitely keep this one in our watch list going into next week and the week after. Hope that made sense, Mohammed. So gold, right? 30-minute time frame. We had 2 days of rise. On the third day today, price gave us a rise, no net. Could we be expecting a 4th day variation where price continues this push to the top side? Could happen, right? It could definitely happen. We have a 4-hour bullish candle, right? We're trading between the same. I'm not gonna say this is higher high, higher low, higher high, right? We know that we're still trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows, right? Structure wise, we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price that went up and gave us a higher high, right? This is where price is kind of just moving sideways. So let's see, do we have any engulfing candles? I forgot, we looked at this already, right? We said that the 4-hour doesn't really have a nice one, the 30 nothing, the 15-minute nada, right? What we do have is this 30-minute engulfing down here. So at this point I don't think we'll get this steep of a pullback, right, because of STP, but we'll see, right? I would love to get this pullback. This is what I was expecting. If price would have finished down here instead of finishing where it finished up here, I would have had a more probability of this giving us a steeper pullback down into this area to continue the push to the top side. Since we didn't get that type of push, you know, at this point we kind of just got to wait it out, right? And to try to, this isn't a pair that right now we could keep it simple. I need to see a little bit more data. I need to see a little bit more candlesticks to be able to mark, okay, this is the high, this is the low. Right now it's not really in the best spot to call that out. So right now for gold, I just kind of got to wait it out for a little bit. We'll continue to monitor this one, but gold could be a good one for tomorrow as well for that new high to be made. Bitcoin, we had a day of drop today. Price gave, well, this doesn't close for another 15 minutes, so we'll update this tomorrow morning. and then oil went into our engulfing candle of these lows. Right, we know we're trading between this 30-minute high. Right, we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price broke, gave us a change of character, higher high. We know we're trading between this 30-minute low and these 30-minute highs up here. That's pretty much it, guys. This is a pair that I'm looking for sells. So this engulfing candle for me, I don't care for it. So we'll continue to monitor. But that's pretty much it, guys. Any other questions? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. We have a few pairs for tomorrow. I'll post the watch list on X for those who follow on X or in our chats. I'll post the watch list so we could all know what pairs we're looking at for tomorrow. Any other questions? Let me know. Any pairs you guys want me to go over again in specific? Let me know. Any questions about any other pairs that we've done today? Let me know. If not, we'll be done and then we'll be back tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Let me know, guys. I'll give you guys about a minute. Let me check Discord as well. Discord messages, nothing. All good? Okay, perfect. On Discord. Twitter? Nothing on Twitter. Okay. Great session. I'll see you tomorrow. My brother. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, or have a great rest of your night. We'll see you guys in the morning. Unless everything moved. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow, let's look at the news real quick. I forgot to even go over that, right? Tomorrow, we already know it's Friday, right? It's the last Friday of the month. Well, beginning of the month, right? Tomorrow we most likely have NFP. Let me see. Let me go. Yeah, so we have a non-farm tomorrow at 8:30. So we most likely won't have any, and there's no other news except for CHF at 2:30 a.m. So we most likely will have dude, it's difficult. It's difficult. We've been in, again, when it comes to these market conditions, because of the election years, because of the wars, because of everything that's going on worldwide, a lot of these pairs are gonna move whenever they want to move. And we've seen it these last 2 months. These last 2-3 months have been that way. You know, and you could use US30 as an example. Again, US30 is a pair that 9 out of 10 times it really only moves during NYC. And we've seen it that, you know, we have a lot more days where it's giving us movements during Asia and London. It's giving us movements every session of the day. Asia, London, NYC, right? It's giving us movements. And that goes for every single pair. For the currency pairs, for commodities, for indexes, for crypto, right? We're in market conditions where, again, as exactly what I explained in the first 20 minutes of this stream, right? If you're following your plan, you win. If you don't follow your plan, those are the days you lose, whether you took profit or you lost a trade. If you lost a trade and you didn't follow your plan, I mean, you already know you made an error, right? And then if you won a trade in profit, but you're not following your plan because you just got into a trade because you're being impatient, you know, me personally, I can't say, oh yeah, I won today, because, you know, again, I didn't follow my plan. If I do the same thing tomorrow, I know I'm gonna lose that trade, right? That's a very low probability trade that I took. So if we wake up tomorrow especially on a Friday, right? Especially on a Friday. If I wake up on a Friday and everything's already done, all good. It is what it is, right? Fridays are usually like that as well. So, but again, the fact that we have NFP tomorrow, again, 9 out of 10 times these pairs won't move until either when NFP hits or until after the news hits. And if it doesn't move at 8:30, we know we're gonna have some crazy volume at 9 o'clock, 9:30. So we'll wait it out. We'll see what happens. Again, this is we understand with the federal rates, right? Yesterday, since they're staying the same, we know that price is just gonna follow market structure. So again, if US30 decides to give us a pullback, which I hope it gives us a pullback, right? Because if it gives us a pullback and it gives us a break of structure, we know that it's going to continue this downtrend push. And that's what I want to see for US30, right? I want to finally see US30 start this downtrend push. This is what we've been waiting for literally since March. So, you know, we'll let price do what it has to do overall. But all right, guys, any other questions? Let me know. If not, that's today's session. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Hope you guys have a good night. Any questions, feel free to message me. Again, we do free one-on-one sessions, these free daily live streams Monday through Friday. We do the weekly market breakdown in the weekend as well. So make sure you guys join the Discord. Make sure you guys join the community on X. Follow me on X, Instagram, wherever you guys have social media. Message me if you have any questions. If you guys need any help at all, let me know as well. Also, if you guys are interested in a prop firm funded by traders, recommend 100%. Right? If you guys want that link, I'll post it in the chat as well. You guys can use my code, get 10% off. Right now, we're doing a 20% discount as well on challenges 50K or lower. So if you don't have an account, you know, you could get even a 5K account for about 30 bucks. You know, it doesn't get better than that. Guaranteed payouts, 8 booking traders. So it's definitely the best firm right now to be trading with everything going on, guys. You don't want to be trading with those firms that aren't getting the payouts, especially those who are just giving you demo accounts, right? How do they make their money? You guessed it, by people just buying and failing accounts, right? We're funded by traders. We're here to work with you. So make sure you guys get your accounts. Any other question? I think everybody's good, right? X Discord, we're good. Yep. Discord, everybody's good. X, everybody's good. Okay. Alright, guys. We'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good rest of your night. Peace out.